90-Day Fiancés Jasmine Pineda shares an uncommon intimate video featuring Branis. Jasmine Pineda from 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, recently shared a personal video on Instagram featuring Branis, suggesting they had formed a significant connection. Jasmine was formerly involved with Gino Palazzolo, a Michigan native. She arrived in the United States and wed Gino in Season 10 of 90-Day Fiancé, aspiring for a favorable conclusion. Jasmine was discontent with her marriage owing to insufficient intimacy. She engaged in an open marriage with Gino and became pregnant by her gym acquaintance, Matt. Although Jasmine has welcomed a kid with Matt, she asserts that he is merely a friend. She has consistently designated him as her friend and the father of her child, suggesting an absence of romantic affection between them. Recently, Jasmine astonished her admirers by sharing an intimate film featuring Matt. The footage depicted Matt elevating Jasmine while she gesticulated with her arms and legs. Jasmine stated, "Matt is requiring me to demonstrate my ability to run swiftly." Jasmine and Matt were attired casually and seemed content with their amicable connection. An Instagram user, PeachyCheeks212, stated, "You two are destined for each other." Jasmine's latest love video featuring Matt is pretty perplexing. She has persistently asserted that her relationship with Matt is purely platonic. A cast member of 90-Day Fiancé Happily Ever After underscores this by referring to Matt as a random guy from the gym in her Instagram biography. Jasmine strongly asserts that she and Matt are merely friends and co-parents. Nevertheless, she frequently shares romantic movies and loving postings featuring him on Instagram, implying that their relationship may transcend a conventional friendship. Jasmine's recent video featuring Matt indicates that she may be cultivating deeper affections for him. Despite her initial hesitance to engage in a new relationship after her separation from Gino, the 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, star seems to have recuperated with time. She may feel at ease sharing her emotions with Matt because of his established dependability as a father. Jasmine may be starting to cultivate a romantic bond with Matt and could contemplate pursuing a partnership with him in the future, aspiring for enduring bliss. It is remarkable to observe Jasmine developing a stronger relationship with Matt, who seems to be an ideal match for her. Her previous relationship with Gino was unsuitable owing to insufficient intimacy and the age disparity. The divergent objectives of Jasmine and Gino served as a cautionary indicator that ultimately precipitated the dissolution of their marriage. Jasmine's present connection with Matt is somewhat more peaceful, as they possess shared interests, particularly in fitness. The new couple in Season 9 of 90-Day Fiancé, Happily Ever After, shares comparable lives, hence improving their relationship potential. Jasmine Pineda gazed out the window of her modest apartment in Panama City as the tropical rain coursed down the glass. She grasped her phone firmly, her heart pounding. 3 months had elapsed since she and Gino Palazzolo last communicated. 3 months characterized by silence, sadness, and remorse. She longed for him. His clumsy smile, his fixation on dad hats, and his atrocious jokes. Above all, she longed for the sensation of being loved, despite the tumultuous, dramatic nature of their affection, rife with misunderstandings. Unexpectedly, her phone vibrated. "Gino, I am traveling to Panama. I wish to see you. For the final occasion." Jasmine's breath became constricted in her throat. She was uncertain whether to express amusement or sorrow. Gino came the subsequent afternoon, anxious and perspiring in the oppressive humidity. Upon entering the cafe designated for their meeting, he observed her, Jasmine, luminous and fervent, her gaze locked onto him as if she were deciphering his essence. "I did not anticipate your arrival," she remarked gently. "I was compelled to," Gino responded. "I was unable to cease contemplating our past and our losses." They conversed for several hours. Initially, there were tears and elevated voices as past grievances resurfaced. "You deceived me, Gino." Jasmine became upset. "You transmitted my confidential images to another individual. How can I possibly regain my trust in you?" Gino acquiesced, filled with shame. "I am aware. I acted foolishly. I experienced insecurity. I have compromised everything. However, I have transformed. I have been consulting a therapist. I have been endeavoring to develop. Her demeanor softened marginally. What is the status of your family? They consistently rejected my acceptance. I informed them that I am indifferent. I am not romantically involved with them. I am in love with you. In the subsequent days, Gino prolonged his visit. They engaged in extended strolls down the beach, prepared dinner collaboratively, and danced beneath the stars as they did when they first encountered one another. Jasmine gradually lowered her defenses. The barriers she had constructed began to fracture. One evening, while seated on the balcony, Jasmine ultimately revealed, "I never ceased to love you. However, love is not always sufficient, Gino. We require respect. We require honesty." "I am aware," he murmured. "I assure you, I will dedicate the remainder of my life to deserving that." Subsequently, he extracted a little box from his pocket. Inside was the engagement ring she had previously hurled at him in a moment of fury. He had retained it throughout this duration. "I am not requesting an immediate affirmation from you," he stated. "I am merely requesting for an additional opportunity." 6 months later, Jasmine arrived in Detroit possessing a fiancé visa. They resolved to make another attempt, this time earnestly, with patience, treatment, and established boundaries. Jasmine operated as a fitness coach online, while Gino acclimated to his new reality, no longer concealing himself behind excuses. They commenced couples therapy collaboratively. It was not flawless. Arguments, cultural conflicts, and sporadic episodes of jealousy persisted. However, they had acquired the ability to advocate for one another rather than against one another. One morning, Jasmine saw Gino as he consumed his coffee, donning the same tattered baseball cap. "Do you still don that hat?" she jested. "I do," he replied with a chuckle. "However, it solely evokes memories of the woman who captured my heart, cast it aside, and subsequently returned it." They both laughed, and for the first time in an extended period, it seemed authentic. Love had transcended mere drama and tears. It constituted forgiveness, development, a collective aspiration for improvement. Nevertheless, as the sun commenced its down over Panama City, Jasmine Pineda twirled before the mirror, donning the red silk dress she had selected for their special meal. She radiated, not alone from the golden sunlight filtering through the window, but from the exhilaration surging within her. Gino had arranged something significant for this evening, and Jasmine was anticipating it to signify a proposal, or at the very least, a commitment to their future together. Concurrently, Gino Palazzolo sat anxiously on the side of the hotel bed, gazing at the envelope in his grasp. Contained within was a legal instrument, a prenuptial agreement. Although it was not the way he envisioned commencing this chapter with Jasmine, following the tumult of his prior marriage, he deemed it the prudent course of action. "I adore her," he said to himself. "However, I must also safeguard myself." The ambience throughout supper was wonderful. Candles illuminated the space between them, accompanied by gentle music in the background. Jasmine chuckled at Gino's cliched humor, her lengthy hair flowing over her shoulders as she savored crimson wine. Subsequently, Gino cleared his throat. "Jasmine, I have a matter to discuss with you." She inclined her head, her eyes wide open. "Please inform me." He retrieved the envelope from his jacket. "Prior to proceeding, before the marriage, I require you to read this." Jasmine proceeded cautiously, perceiving a change in energy. "What is this?" "It is a prenuptial agreement," Gino stated cautiously. "Merely to safeguard our mutual interests. I desire for us to experience security, both financially and emotionally." The stillness between them became oppressive. Jasmine's gaze traversed the initial lines before becoming immobilized. Her hands quivered. "You expect me to sign this prior to our marriage?" she inquired, her tone reflecting both astonishment and distress. Gino acquiesced. "My lack of trust is not the reason. It is merely a suggestion for my family and attorney. In all honesty, I have experienced, cease," she said, her voice elevating. "Am I merely another woman seeking your financial resources? Is it the essence of this matter, Gino?" "Negative." Jasmine, kindly. It is not as such. Her eyes brimmed with tears. I relinquished my employment, my family, and all else for this romance. Are you now presenting me with a contract? Am I perceived as a threat? They returned to the motel quietly. Jasmine confined herself in the bathroom, while Gino remained seated on the bed, cradling his head in his hands. Time elapsed. Ultimately, the door emitted a creaking sound when it opened. Jasmine exited, her cosmetics smudged yet her demeanor composed. I comprehended the entirety, she stated quietly. It is not as unfavorable as I anticipated. However, you ought to have communicated with me, Gino. It did not surprise me. You are correct, he stated, rising to his feet. I experienced fear. Not concerning you, but rather the potential loss of all we own if circumstances deteriorate. However, I now recognize that I jeopardized that same love by failing to trust you. She approached and grasped his hand. I shall endorse it, Jasmine stated. Not due to my concurrence, but out of my affection for you. I am confident that we will never require its utilization. Gino embraced her, tears welling in his eyes. I assure you, Jasmine, this document is merely paper. My genuine commitment resides here, he stated, putting her hand to his heart. Nonetheless, Jasmine Pineda and Gino Palazzolo had consistently been an ardent couple, yet at times that fervor ignited excessively. Following months of video conferences, love correspondence, and emotional fluctuations, Gino traveled to Panama once more to revive their romance. The initial days were enchanting. Jasmine greeted him with flowers, while Gino presented her with a bag filled with goodies, including a new pair of alluring shoes, collagen facial lotions, and several framed photographs of their shared moments. However, that tranquility was short-lived. Their initial significant dispute occurred during a romantic supper on the beach. I observed that you liked your ex's photo once more, Gino, Jasmine retorted, her tone escalating with each syllable. That was an antiquated post, Jasmine. I was unaware of my fondness for it, Gino asserted, anxiously adjusting his distinctive cap. Jasmine rose, trembling with emotion. You continue to harbor feelings for her, do you not? Acknowledge it. Certainly not. I am present with you, am I not? He implored. The evening concluded with Jasmine departing in anger, tears streaming down her cheeks, as Gino meandered over the sand, disoriented and exasperated. A few days later, the second explosion occurred when Jasmine inadvertently uncovered Gino's messages with his cousin, in which he expressed uncertainties regarding their relationship. Did you assert that I am excessively emotional and unstable? Jasmine shouted, brandishing his phone. Do you discuss me in my absence? Gino's countenance became ashen. I did not intend it in that manner, Jazz. I was merely expressing my frustrations. Venting? She exclaimed. You demean me in the presence of your family and anticipate my acquiescence. The altercation concluded with Jasmine expelling his bag from her residence and instructing him to secure a hotel. He accomplished it. However, the most contentious debate occurred during their therapy session, which they consented to pursue following their third effort at reconciliation. What is the subject? A prenuptial agreement. I merely wish to safeguard my savings, Gino stated composedly. Jasmine's eyes ignited. Do you believe I am associated with you for your financial resources? Negative. It is merely a precaution. Perhaps we should forgo marriage entirely, she exclaimed. A prolonged hush ensued. I adore you, Jasmine, Gino ultimately declared. However, love is not invariably sufficient. They sat in silence for a minute, gazing at the floor. Nevertheless, despite their disagreements, Jasmine and Gino consistently reunited. Love was imperfect, particularly in their case. It was intense, tumultuous, and boisterous, yet authentic. Greetings, esteemed viewers. Welcome to my channel. I am Amelia. I hope your day is going well. If you like the video, please remember to subscribe to the channel.